So a few years ago, I thought of this idea to start challenging myself every year with something that put me outside of my comfort zone. That way I can build resilience and learn to overcome challenges in everyday life. It's difficult to plan for everything, and you know that no matter how much planning you do and how much logistical effort you put into it, there's always going to be something that goes awry. And that was always, I guess, nerve-wracking for me. What haven't I prepared for, and what could possibly go wrong, and how do you prepare for those things that you don't know about? What foods worked for me well, what didn't? How can I get my hands on as much calories as possible in as easy to consume methods as possible? How can I make sure that my crew is going to be at the predetermined locations at the right time, and making sure that we're set up to have a successful operation where everybody's roles and responsibilities are clearly outlined so that we can all stay mission focused and work together on a common goal. So I had my partner Shannon along the event, my videographer Yuki and his partner Fiona. They were coming along at every station along the journey just to make sure that I was keeping on ticking over. Having the moral and mental support from Shannon is incredibly important for me. She's the rock in my life and helps me to overcome any challenge that comes my way. Making sure that we documented this experience was really important for me so that I can share it with others and help to inspire those people. I think before starting, I was just nervous to get out there. I was really looking forward to just getting away from it all and really zoning in on a goal that I'd worked towards for so long. So it was nerves, but also just excitement at the same time. I was worried going through the sandy sections that I was going to be going slower, and this came to fruition. I was much slower than I was expecting over this time, and I was trying to find points to speed up and rethink the plan in order to get to the time that I wanted. My planning was all wrong. I was about 10K short of where I thought I was meant to be. Turns out I must have read the map wrong. So this led to some logistical issues. The crew, we weren't quite ready to go. I wasn't in contact with them. They weren't in contact with me. They'd just pulled up. Nothing was quite ready, and it was a bit of a hectic rush to get things sorted to get going again. So checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2 was where I found that missing 10K. I wasn't quite ready for it, and then I didn't have enough nutrition on board. Ran into a couple snakes on that stretch as well, which definitely got the heart rate up. And I started to recognize that the lack of cloud cover across the day was going to be a challenge. The checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 3 section was probably the most challenging. It's where I really started to heat up until we could put some planning in place to overcome that. That was definitely the hardest section of the day, and it was where I was losing time quickly and getting a little bit more nervous about what was going on. Being able to deal with the adversity on the fly was a confidence builder for me. Like I said, I thought I'd planned this perfectly. I thought I was going to smash it, and unfortunately it didn't quite go to plan, but within myself I was able to adapt and overcome and look at the time and say, look, well, we can still get the record if we do this. We go to plan B, we slow down, we walk on all the beach sections, we walk uphill, we leg it downhill as much as possible. Fear of failure at the end of the day. You think you've done everything you can in order to achieve this goal, and then one thing goes wrong and you start getting nervous and thinking negatively, like, oh, maybe I'm not going to get this. Maybe I've got all of these people interested in this event, brought my friends and family down here to watch me do this, got a whole film crew out here, spent all this money on all this food and nutritional things I can't even eat anymore because I'm just feeling so terrible. And then at the end of the day, I'm not even going to get the record. I think that thought went through my head a few times, and I just had to push it back down, just keep focusing on pushing forward. Man, leading into that, when it was starting to get dark and I knew that I had that final stretch to go, I've ran that section at least 20 times. I knew it like the back of my hand, but I knew getting darker was going to be super stressful because there's not much room out there. I eventually stacked it a couple times along the way. I'm bloodied, I'm bruised, and I've picked my head up and I've seen that lighthouse and I'm like, man, you are almost there. You've come all this way. It was incredible to see. And the fact that, every minute was just getting closer and closer, and I knew that, yeah, I'm gonna do this. It was friggin' awesome, man. Knowing at the end of the day I got the time was incredible, but it wasn't really about the time for me. It was about challenging myself and experiencing something different, and I just had such an awesome day. Regardless of whether I broke the record or not, I think I still would have enjoyed it. Obviously, probably not as much if I didn't get there. But knowing that I did all that and it was worth all the effort that went into it to eventually get the record, and I've been just on such a high ever since. We're all capable of greatness as long as we align our lives and our priorities towards whatever it is we want to do. We can be the best at that thing. I think we should all pursue happiness in our lives, and running makes me happy. So I want to do it to the best of my ability. I want to do it every day. And whatever it is that makes you happy, you should do that to the best of your ability and do that every day as well.